I visited the state institutions for the mentally retarded, and I think particularly at Willowbrook that we have a situation that borders on a snake pit, and that the children live in filth, that many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
It's been more than 6 years since Robert Kennedy walked out of one of the wards here at Willowbrook and told newsmen of the horror he'd seen inside. He pleaded then for an overhaul of a system that allowed retarded children to live in a snake pit. But that was way back in 1965, and somehow we'd all forgotten. I first heard of this big place with the pretty-sounding name because of a call I received from a member of the Willowbrook staff, a Dr. Michael Wilkins. The doctor told me he'd just been fired because he'd been urging parents with children in one of the buildings, building number 6, to organize so they could more effectively demand improved conditions for their children. The doctor invited me to see the conditions he was talking about, so unannounced and unexpected by the school administration, we toured building number 6. The doctor had warned me that it would be bad. It was horrible. There was one attendant for perhaps 50 severely and profoundly retarded children.
The ones that we saw were the most severely and profoundly retarded. There are thousands there like that, not going to school, sitting on the ward all day, not being talked to by anyone, only 1 or 2 or 3 people to take care of 70 people on the ward, sharing the same toilet, contracting the same diseases.
Can the children be trained?
Yes, every child can be trained. You know, these kids, there's no effort. We don't know what these kids are capable of doing.
And I think your priorities are mixed up in New York in terms of serving the retarded. Your top investment is in institutions. Our top investment is in the Department of Education and in providing a program for the child while he's at home in terms of day care. For example, these kids can go to school at age 3 years. So they start at very young, and that helps a great deal for parents. And when parents are actively encouraged to keep their child at home, they do so because they know they can have the help of regional centers or public schools or the health department in terms of services, etc.
What we need is a new approach. We have to change the way we care for our mentally retarded. We ask for change, we demand change. What you've seen here just doesn't have to be this way.
I think all of us are at fault, and I think it's just it's long overdue that something be done about it.
Children are born surrounded by their parents' dreams of the future. Most parents watch their children progress and learn, with each day, week, and month bringing new abilities. The child with mental retardation, however, will begin to fall behind at some point. The child may achieve some milestones on time, meet others later than expected, and some may simply not be achieved. The rate of development and ultimate level of achievement will vary. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 4th edition, text revision, defines the criteria for a diagnosis of mental retardation. These include having test scores on standardized intelligence tests that are significantly below average, and having limitations in at least 2 areas when performing ordinary tasks of daily living: communication, self-care, home living, social interpersonal skills, use of community resources, self-direction, functional academic skills, work, leisure, health, and safety. Onset is prior to age 18 and has 3 levels. Mild mental retardation with IQ levels approximately 50 or 55 to 70, moderate mental retardation with IQ levels 35 or 40 to 50 or 55, and profound mental retardation where the IQ level is below 20 or 25. Mental retardation may also be caused by illnesses such as meningitis and encephalitis, ingestion of brain toxic substances, anoxia, and brain trauma. Children who are developing normally and then suffer brain trauma and fail to continue normal development are more correctly diagnosed as having mental retardation secondary to acquired brain damage. According to the National Institutes of Health, mental retardation affects between 1% and 3% of the population. About 87% of these individuals show minimal to moderate intellectual impairment, and with education and appropriate intervention, can live independent, productive lives. The remaining 13%, with more profound retardation, have difficulties in school, at home, and in the community. Many can, however, still perform meaningful work in a supervised environment. Today, the focus is less on the degree of retardation and more on habilitation. Mental retardation wears many faces and is a disorder of complex origin.
When you use the I word, makes me feel like a nobody.
I am a sister, and I'm a big brother.
I'm a dancer.
Yeah. I'm a hard worker.
I am not nobody. I'm somebody.
When you use the word retarded, you make me feel excluded from society.
You're a student.
I'm not a moron.
I am a student. I want to be included.
I want to be included.
The word retarded is kind of sad because it makes me feel like when I hear that word, it makes me feel sad and frustrated, and I feel bad for the other people that say it.
I am a hard worker.
I am not a bad person. I love to read.
I am a dancer.
I'm a great reader.
This is Kyle. He's not a retard. He's an internet whiz.
I am a student.
When you use the word retarded, you are taking away my humanity.
I hot water. Here. I love water.
I'm a human being. I'm a boyfriend. I'm a person. When you use the I word, it makes people feel really bad for themselves. And sometimes you have to think about that before you say it.
You use the word retarded. You are saying that I am stupid. I am not stupid.
I am no idiot.
I am not a moron.
I'm not stupid.
I am not stupid.
I'm not stupid.
I'm not stupid. I am smart. I am smart. I am not stupid.
I'm smart.
I am not stupid. I'm not a moron.
I'm not stupid.
When I hear the R word, it makes me feel offended.
I'm a toddler.
I'm a brother.
I am a singer.
When you use the word retarded, you hurt people's feelings.
I'm not a moron, a retard, I have those things.
Go.
I'm a great reader.
I'm a role model.
I speak and Spanish.
I'm a video game master.
Awesome.
I am.
My daughter is not the R word. She is a dancer, a singer, a student, a stinker, and my pride and joy.
We're good friends.
I am not a loser.
I am Connie Gooding.
This is Sarah. She is not retarded. She is my wonderful student.
My brother is funny.
Go.
My friend Danny's not retarded. She's awesome. Becky is not retarded. In fact, Becky is probably the kindest person I know, the truest of heart, the most unique, and a very special person in my life.
Go ahead.
My sister isn't the R word. She is a funny person.
Joey is not retarded. He's a great friend.
And spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word. Spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
Go ahead.
Spread the word to end the word.
Go.
Don't forget, spread the word and the word.
Spread the word.
So spread the word to end the word.
Word.
End the word.
Spread the word to the end of the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
To end the word.
Spread the word to end the word.
Spread the word and end the word.
Spread the word and end the word.
Yeah, right. See our word.
No, Down syndrome does not slow me down. It's just what I have in me. I do have Down syndrome, but that's not going to stop me one bit. See, I live on my own. I clean the house, I do exercise, I walk my dog. She's an outside dog. And I got 3 other brothers. They don't treat me special. My name is Mark Joseph Hubler. I'm from Indiana. A Hoosier fan. See? We're more like the different.
My name is Moira Rossi. I am 20 years old. I go to the University of North Florida. I love college. It's the best thing. I'm studying right now career planning and journalism. I'm also taking voice lessons. I want to sing on American Idol and kind of win Simon Cowell over. See, we're more alike than different. My goal is to be successful and be an international sensation.
My name is Christopher Scott, and I'm from Texas. I'm 31 years old, and I have Down syndrome. Well, I like my job. I'm a teacher assistant, and I work with kids. That's where I get some of my energy from. I like lots of movies. So I like to go dancing, get my groove on. See, we are more alike than different.
I am Christy Hockle, and I am 29 years old, and I have Down syndrome. Yes, I just joined the gym. I love to exercise. Exercise is my thing. I can lift 140 pounds. I just love it. I just love being there. It's really fun. I like to get healthy and strong and skinny. See, we're more alike than different. My mom keeps saying, Christy, you need to lose some weight. I am Christy Hockle. I am 29 years old, and I have Down syndrome. Something special just happened to me. My boyfriend asked my dad in the hand of marriage. He's wonderful. He's cute. I love him a lot. I want to be beautiful as a bride. See, we're more alike than different. I'm going to have a big, big wedding for 300 people.
AAIDD has had a long history of being the authoritative source in the diagnosis and classification of people with intellectual disabilities. Over the last 4 years, it's been my pleasure to chair what we call the T&C Committee, and our charge was to do an update of the 1992 and the 2002 manuals, and we have done that in reference to a tremendous international effort, because there are 18 members of the committee. Those 18 members represent 3 international bodies plus our own. And over that period of 4 years, my role really was to coordinate their efforts, to organize and really focus on 2 major activities. One was we took a look at and spent considerable time on the reviews and critiques have been done of both the 92 and the 2002 manuals. And then secondly, over the course of that 4-year period, we published 5 articles in which we did an update of the literature in the area. We were able, through those articles, to really consolidate what is the best thinking in the world about the condition of intellectual disabilities. And as a result of that, we really have then produced a product that not only clarifies some of the points we made in the 92 and the 2002 manual, but have also given us, I think, increased sophistication in the process and really an increased consistency of the concepts and the terms that we've used over those years. You know, the field of intellectual disabilities has gone through what we call paradigm shifts. And the major paradigm shift that has occurred has really related to our conception of disability, where we've moved away from defectology to really an ecological or socio-ecological perception where we view the individual and the environment and realize it's not just the person, it's the environment that really makes the individual. But the other major shift has been in how we view supports and the critical role that supports play, and to realize that professional services, which historically has been the supports provided to people, is only one kind of support. That the system of supports I mentioned earlier is really where the future is. Because the systems of support can involve a lot of things. It can involve policies and practices. It can involve incentives. It can involve prosthetics, cognitive supports, opportunities, natural supports, skills and knowledge, etc. And so consequently, as we have moved away from a singular focus upon a support to a systems of support, I think we've really broadened the horizon as to why individuals might be interested in this whole process. Here are some of the reasons why I think that that people should be interested in the 11th edition that we've really not covered in our previous comments. Number one, it really does describe why the term intellectual disabilities is a much better term to use. And we spend a lot of time, because terminology is very, very critical. Because the term we use to refer to a condition, or to a person, or to a phenomenon, really sets expectations about that person, but also communicates clearly what you think about that person. So I think one of the things that we've tried to do is to really address the issue of terminology and why terminology is so very important. Secondly, we've tried to address the issue, and I think have done rather well, what are the best practices today in the field of intellectual disabilities? Best practices in terms of diagnosis, best practices in terms of classification, and best practices in terms of systems of supports. And in reference to those best practices and systems of supports, one of the things we did is we looked into the human performance technology literature. And rather than talk about a support for a person, we now talk about a systems of support for the individual, which is the title of the manual. Third, we've really attempted to involve the international community in that process. It's a very interesting fact that the 10th edition has been translated into 13 languages. And we've already signed contracts with at least 5 countries to translate the 11th. And so consequently, we're not talking about a US-based population. We're really talking about an international community. And so consequently, as we viewed the international community, we've really been very sensitive to what are the needs of individuals in both developed and non-developed countries, and have tried to tailor our suggestions and recommendations in that regard. And then finally, we've added some very rather significant material, we think, in terms of policy and practice. And there's a very extensive chapter that looks at the impact of the 11th edition on public policy. And for the very first time, we look at what the policy implications are in terms of outcomes for people. So not only are we talking about the diagnostic classification and systems of supports system, but we're now looking at personal outcomes for both individuals and the families that they are members of.